What's good, y'all? Johnny here. In today's news, a Super Mosque will be built in Dublin, Ireland. The biggest mosque in Ireland. So we're going to look into this and why there is complaints about it. I have the local paper here beside me, and we're going to look at the websites online too for any contradictions. Let's look into this, eh? Okay, so we're on the website here, the Irish Sun. What a truth-telling paper, eh? The first red flag for me is tribute to family. Now, instead of pointing out the problems this mosque may give when it comes to traffic and such in this small area that they're building it, it starts off with tribute to family. Dublin doctor to build a super mosque with school and sports centre to honour his wife and children who were wiped out in an arson attack. Now, RIP to any lost one. I really don't care what religious background you have. That is horrible. But to start off this headline with tribute to family, very deceiving. Very deceiving. Now for the real report. But some neighbours of Dr. Mohammed are objecting to development, saying the complex could cause traffic chaos on their streets. Fact. Neurosurgeon. Damn, you a smart man. Mohammed wants to build a mosque on Blanchardstown Road in Cardiff, Dublin. Seeks permission to build a 3-storey mosque, a large community centre, and a private primary school. Private? Now if I use my common sense, private, so that means anybody who believes in that specific faith, it's open to. Now, as a man raised in the area they are building it, I'm not sure many people share that religious belief, so it's not open to the community. That's lie one. Let's go down more. The centre will include a halal food store and restaurant. Now, as an Irishman, I don't think we're into halal food that much, and the restaurant, I'd like to see what's on that menu. I'm pretty sure many Irish people would not be going there to order food, just out of food preference. A sports hall and a 5-a-side football pitch to be shared by the community. Now, we already have a sports facility that was built over here not so long ago, just across the road, so we're okay. And we have the National Aquatic Centre, which is just up the road from that, so we are okay on that. Fingal County Councillor Ted Leddy told the Irish Sun, "All I would say is, I don't know many residents are aware of the proposed development. Assuming an appeal goes ahead, I will be making an observation to that appeal, expressing my concerns about traffic congestion in the area." Now that's common sense, which is ironic coming from a councillor. I'm not used to that. But yes, we did not find out until it was too late. That is another red flag. That is what the residents have a problem with. They already have this planned and done and set in motion without telling the people. It was a local working lad who told the people. And that's why they're giving it coverage now, because they got caught, more or less. Now what it says here is, if they abide by the planning laws, then they have just as much of a right to build a place of worship as anybody else. Now that is true, I agree with that, like that is a fair statement. What I would say to that is simply, for any person who is a believer of the Islamic faith that is here, like, we can build a mosque for y'all to bring the community together. But a super mosque, that's to bring everybody from around the country here, of that one belief. So in one sense, you're downsizing the community. It is not for the community. The community will be downsized and thrown to the back of the line, along with the traffic congestion. Pretty reasonable reason for the residents to have a concern, eh? But I digress. So yes, another red flag. Dr. Al-Sattar, forgive my pronunciation, who works at Beaumont Hospital, Dublin, told the Irish Sun, "We are going to take on the financial burden to widen the road, so there will be 2 lanes, which will help the flow of traffic." Now that looks great when you say that, like this is what we're giving the community. We're going to make the road wider, and we will pay for it. But they're not doing that for the community, are they? They are doing that so they can get more people in for that venue. Another red flag. If you're doing that for the community, well then make the roads wider and pay for it, with or without the mosque. That's human decency right there. The only reason you're widening them roads is for your own benefit. Let's be honest. It goes on to read, our main congregation is on a Friday between 1 and 2, and that won't clash with any schools. The community college and the IT don't finish at those times either, so there won't be that many extra people on the road. There won't be that many extra people on the road? What? Anyways, people think that there'll be a lot more traffic with it, because there will, because it was suggested that we are trying to build the biggest mosque in Ireland. That is not our intention. Well, a 3-story mosque that by its blueprints is the biggest one in Ireland, logically, the people are not wrong there. Let's carry on anyways. Our intention is to build up our community centre. Our as in yours. This is to serve the purpose of an indoor sports facility, outdoor sports, indoor conferences, and a seminar room that can be used as a multi-purpose room. That is a key sentiment right there. Our intention is to build up our community centre. And what about our community? You know, the one it's being built in? We have contacted local sports clubs about running joint ventures and training sports in the community centre. It will also help local schools. Now that is the website about this. I will leave the link in the description below. Let's see what the papers are saying. Okay, so the context is a super mosque being built in a small area that is too small to contain it. But the headline, Blaise Dad plans huge mosque in tribute to his family. Now the article goes on to read how his family was based in Leicester. Now we are in Dublin, so the location is questionable already. As I stated, RIP to anybody who died and was lost through horrible causes. This is not about that. To overemphasize somebody's tragic loss without telling the context as to why we are speaking about this is very unfair to do. If I went for a bank loan and instead of doing a background check on the money I bring in, I tell him of how my uncle passed away and just expect him to write me a check because of that. I'm sorry, my friend, but that is not how life works. Further on in the article, it reads this. A Dublin doctor is pushing ahead with plans for a super mosque with school and sports centre attached to honour his family wiped out in an arson attack. Notice the way they attach that with the message. This is media leading you astray. If we look below, the planning application seeks permission to build a 3-story mosque, a large community centre, and a private primary school. Interesting. Let's be logical. The pros and cons. The pro. A super mosque is built for those of that religious belief. The cons. Traffic congestion. Locals were not alerted. Downsizes and would cause a divide within the community. Solution. Build a mosque that befits the number of Muslims within the community, rather than overimposing a super mosque on the local community. What is your outlook on this super mosque being built in Ireland? I'm Johnny, and when media lies, call them out. Take care, y'all.